We have the athletic director, Grand Prairie Schools, Troy Matthew. And we have Vern Alexander, assistant superintendent for Grand Prairie Schools. Let's kind of give these folks a round of applause. Thank you for your attendance this evening and the fact that we're going to recognize the
Student Lane Jackson's pointing up Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks is.
I knew he was back there. I saved him for last. Thank you, Ruthie. We have our school member, Terry Brooks. Terry, glad to have you. We have a very special person that joined Grand Prairie Schools about 3 years ago. We, as normal, proselyted another school district and brought him up here. Let me ask head basketball coach, Brandon Bennett. Coach Bennett, would you please come to the podium and let me make a few remarks about right there will be fine, Coach, but probably you don't want to talk a little bit. The South Grand Prairie basketball team this year achieved something that no other team has achieved in the Grand Prairie Schools for the last 26 years, and that's a regional appearance in the State 5A playoff system. This team had an 18-game winning streak and did not lose a game in the month of January and February. Let me tell you a little bit about Coach Bennett and a few more comments about the team, and then let Coach Bennett, I'm going to ask him to bring the team up if he would, introduce each player, and I'll read a resolution that's been prepared by the city. Coach Bennett is a graduate of Sam Houston State University. This is his 16th year in coaching. As I mentioned to you, we proselyted him from Mansfield Summit, where he had been for 8 years. His first year at South Grand Prairie, he was 15 and 14. His second year, he went to the playoffs with a record of 23 and 9. And this year, his overall record was 35 and 3. And the South Grand Prairie Warrior boys basketball team was Region 5A runner-up, losing the final playoff game in Region to Flower Mound Marcus, 39-38. And Flower Mound Marcus the next week then won state championship for the second year in a row. I think you can probably say the Warriors probably 2 points away from being state champions.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of things that go on in the coaching field. It's been my pleasure to be associated with the athletic department at South for a long time now, and I want to share something with you. The head basketball coach at Marcus, Flower Mound Marcus, that defeated the Warriors in the final game, 39-38, is a gentleman named Danny Henderson. Danny is a very, very well-regarded high school basketball coach and very well thought of in the annals of high school basketball in the state of Texas, and that's demonstrated by the fact that he's been in the state playoffs in Austin, the Final Four, if you will, for the past 3 years, and won it the last 2 years. So after our game on Monday, after our game on Saturday with Flower Mound Marcus, Coach Bennett got this email from Coach Danny Henderson at the Marcus Marauders, and I okayed this with Coach Bennett because he's a little larger than I am. I wanted to share with you what the coach said about Coach Bennett and this basketball team and these young men. Brandon, I just wanted to reiterate what I told you after the game Saturday, that we felt going into the game that SGP was the best coached team we faced all year. That includes Stu Vetter's Montrose Christian team, and that guy is going to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame someday. Your team was sound in every way. Your help side defense, your blocking out, your shot selection. We have been preparing for you for over 2 months, and we couldn't find any flaws in your coaching. Your team is the first we have faced that takes charges better than us. Saturday is one of the few times that I have felt sick for a losing team. That should have been the state championship game. You and your players deserve to play in the Irwin Center. You will be back, and you will win it all soon. You're too talented as a coach for that not to happen. Just keep working. Sincerely, Danny Henderson, varsity boys basketball coach, Marcus Marauders. Coach, that is a great compliment to you. Coach, I'd like at this time, if you would, maybe introduce your team and your support staff, your assistant coaches, and if you have any trainers and managers here, and ask them to come up. And then I'd like to read a proclamation that we prepared, the council has prepared for you and your team, and presented to you, and a copy to each one of your team members. So if you would, please introduce these young men and let us recognize them and you with the proclamation.
Okay.
Jim, excuse me, before you start, Coach, I gotta confess that the coach came in earlier with his shirt. I thought, well, that's one of those high scorers, and the guy next to him, both named Brandon, and I thought, and I asked him, I said, well, which one's the best player? I had no idea you were, when you're 73, you look like you're about 16 or maybe. That's what I thought, golly, I didn't know I was shaking hands with the big man when you walked in, but excuse me for not recognizing you, but
Thank you. I guess I'll introduce my coaching staff first. I have 3 assistants here now. Brandon Gilbert is one of my varsity assistants. My freshman coach is Joe Moore. JV coach is Bobby Kelly. My player is number 5, Dante James, a sophomore guard. Number 20, Rick Curry, a sophomore post. Number 35, Bryson Townsend, a sophomore forward. Number 3, Mark Howell, a junior guard. Number 15, Ben Meligu, a junior guard. Number 22, Trey Hall, a junior guard. Number 0, Jared Johnson, a senior guard. Number 1, Javon Austin, a senior guard. Number 30, Tyler Jacobs, a senior forward. Number 31, Jalen Bennings, a senior guard. Number 32, Chris Washburn, a senior forward. Number 33, Joseph Richard, a senior post. Managers, Portia Johnson, a senior. Kenneth Alexander, a senior. Ernesto Munoz, a junior. Trainer, Kiana Counts. And on behalf of our coaching staff, all of our student athletes in our basketball program, I'd like to thank Mayor Charles England, Mayor Pro Tem Jim Swafford, and all of our city council representatives, all of our